Every match at this level feels like life and death to you. What do you mean by that?
I think I told myself that I wasn't tired enough. And I think, yeah, and I told this to my team that I wasn't finishing the points tired.
I mean, I'm not a type of player, no disrespect to other players in the ranking. I'm not happy to be one of the best in what I do. And you know what? I might not achieve it.
Of course, my goal is to get even higher in the ranking, to get this position as number one. But I know it's still a lot of work. It's all depends on the other players too, and yeah, definitely that's my biggest goal, next goal. So I actually didn't think about this statistic because I lost in Australia. So I think it was.
Rybakina reached the Italian Open final. She beat a Roland Garros semi-finalist, a U.S. Open champion, and a top 10 veteran. But ask her team which match made them the most nervous, and none of those names come up. A 20-year-old from the Philippines who had never won a 1,000 match before this week almost derailed everything. Stay with us, because what Eala revealed in her post-match interview explains exactly why.
It is the 20-year-old sensation from the Philippines, Eala, who's joining us after her 6-4 in the third set victory over Magdalena Frech out on Petrangeli. First of all, congratulations on the win. I watched that entire match. It was really kind of a symphony in three movements, right? You bageled her in the first set. She came back, won the second set 6-4, went up a break in the third, and then you turned it around and won in three. What happened in sort of the last 20, 25 minutes of that match that allowed you to take control?
I think I told myself that I wasn't tired enough. And I think, yeah, and I told this to my team that I wasn't finishing the points tired enough. So maybe the intensity went down a little bit, and I tried my best to give that little extra push every single point, and it paid off.
That extra push is something that you talked to us a little bit about in Miami. You told us on the desk in Miami that you often tell your team that every match at this level feels like life and death to you. What do you mean by that?
Well, everybody's really good at this level, and anything can happen. And I think that's a beautiful thing about tennis. But at the same time, it's a profession that really keeps you on your toes and is really high pressure, because every single match is a different circumstance, it's a different situation. And yeah, sometimes one match can change a lot for you.
Most players manage energy. Eala manages exhaustion. She uses how tired she feels as a performance gauge. When she wasn't tired, she knew intensity had dropped. That self-awareness mid-match at 20 years old is not normal, and it's exactly the kind of thing that makes her dangerous. But here's what nobody's talking about. Clay was supposed to be her weakness.
Especially when you're changing seasons, or for me in clay, is not my strongest surface, so every match is really a battle.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You grew up essentially at the Nadal Academy, where I believe they have a couple of clay courts,
yes.
And yet, as you point out, you've played very little as a professional on clay compared to how much you've played on hard. Are you starting to fall in love with the clay? Is it a work in progress? How are you digging it now?
Of course, I'm starting to build that relationship, especially at this level, because I've competed in clay definitely many times growing up, but playing as a professional obviously is a different game, I think. This is my first season where I've really done kind of these high-level tournaments. So I did the 500 in Linz, 500 in Stuttgart, and then straight into the thousands, and then Roland Garros, of course. So I'm finding my footing, and I know that I can do well. I'm a much better player physically, mentally than I was last year. And we've really been working hard, my team and I. So I'm really happy with how I played this match, and hopefully, the things we've been working on will reflect.
This is Eala's first real high-level clay season as a professional, ever. She grew up at the Rafa Nadal Academy, trained on clay as a junior, and is now coached by Tony Nadal on a regular basis. Yet somehow she had barely touched pro clay before this week. That's a storyline most people missed completely.
She can, keep working on it, then she's gonna get a lot of 3 points out of it. Honestly, I feel like today was the worst conditions for my game. Very wet and heavy, which I really hate. Indian ones always plays fast and hot, and it's great because I can rush opponents. But today I felt like, I had to dig deep and just make balls and run and, not play my favorite, game, but, my plan B, let's say.
You've had some obviously great results on the clay, semifinals, Roland Garros. What are the things that when you're playing well on clay, you're doing well, not just tennis-wise, but mentally, your view on the game?
I feel like one thing that I worked a lot after Madrid and something that I didn't do really well the last few years on the clay was just to bring my margin a little bit more inside the court. I feel like I was trying to, go for too big of shots, in times where I shouldn't. It's what Iga said when she started with her new coach, that she wants to be that wall and that, very solid player. I feel like that's what I've been missing the last few years on the clay. Obviously, my version, but it's very similar to what she said. And that's what, I really have to buy into. And, I want to see myself playing that way.
Her coach has to remind her of what she's already achieved, because she genuinely forgets. She's been top 10 for 4 consecutive years, has a Roland Garros semifinal to her name, and still says, I might not achieve it. That's not false modesty. That's a competitor who's hardwired to never feel like enough. Meanwhile, on the other side of the draw, Rybakina was quietly doing something nobody noticed.
Lots of time, and you, as you said, have so much experience, so many great wins to be able to fall back on. You seem like you're in a great space right now. Where would you say your hunger is, your motivation, your passion?
I want to get back to where I was. I'm not a type of player, no disrespect to other players in the ranking. I'm not happy where I am right now. And that's my character. Like, even when I'm done with tennis, I don't like to do things halfway. I like to be one of the best in what I do. And you know what? I might not achieve it. Who knows? But I'm going to try my best to, see myself again there. And, one thing that I have to keep reminding to myself is that what I have achieved in my life is pretty good enough. And that's what Tom has been telling me, just to keep it in the back of my mind, because sometimes I do forget what I've done.
Well, one of the many things we love about you is you've always been an all-in type of person. So we love that. Rome, the city, I know the Rome vibes are inspiring for you. You love this city.
I do. I like the food. I like when the weather is good. I like the conditions because it does play a little bit quicker. What's to hate about Rome? That's the thing.
Sakkari openly admits she modeled her clay mindset after Iga Swiatek's coaching philosophy, specifically Iga's "be the wall" instruction. That's a rare cross-player philosophical borrow, and she said it out loud on camera. She won on her worst possible conditions using someone else's blueprint. So what happens when she faces Rybakina, who's on the opposite end of the form spectrum?
Hi, congrats. I heard that you have your own private stringer. Is that right?
Yes.
So what is the benefit of having that private stringer?
Well, he doesn't work only with me, but also some other few players. But it definitely better when one person is stringing your racket. He also suggests some things which I can adapt depending on the condition, and also tracking how the rackets are actually, if I need to change something or not. So I think it's a great benefit to have someone in the team like this.
Elena, you've had more success in the last, I think, 6 months against the top 10 than you ever had before in your career. I wonder if you could explain that, if there's a reason for it, do you think? Is it your focus against the top players, or is it just the fact that you're playing maybe better than you ever have?
In the last 6 months, Rybakina has beaten more top 10 players than in any comparable stretch of her career. She acknowledged something players almost never say publicly. Playing a late semifinal the night before an early final is a genuine competitive disadvantage. She said it plainly. No excuses, just logistics. That kind of honesty is rare, and it tells you everything about why her team trusts her process. 3 players, 3 interviews, 1 tournament that showed exactly where women's tennis is headed. Eala isn't here to be a story. She's here to win. Sakkari is playing borrowed philosophy and running on hunger, and Rybakina is quietly dismantling the #1 ranking piece by piece. If you want to be the person who actually understands what's happening on tour, subscribe. We break down the things the highlights don't show you.
Elena, congrats. Arena's held the #1 ranking now for long over a year, almost 80 weeks consecutively. I wonder what your thoughts are on that, how she's been able to dominate it. And now that you're at #2 in the world after this week, do you start to think about the chances that you might have down the road of becoming #1?
Well, it's a great achievement, of course, and to stay so long as #1, you need to be very consistent, and she showed great tennis for the past couple of years. So, of course, my goal is to get even higher in the ranking, to get this position as #1, but I know it's still a lot of work. It's all depends on the other players too, and yeah, definitely that's my biggest goal, next goal. So yeah, I will try to do it this year, and hopefully it happens.
How much of an advantage is it for you mentally knowing that you've never lost a final against Arena?
I actually didn't think about this statistic because I lost in Australia, so I think it was not this year, the previous, but well, it's as I always say, it's every day is different, every tournament is different, and you can play well one day and then the other day you wake up and not feel the greatest. So I feel like you need to always try to find a way. We know each other's game very well, so it's a lot about physical, I would say, also, because here the ball is heavy, the rallies are a little bit longer than on the other hard courts, which are a little bit quicker. So it's going to be a difficult match where we both going to try to serve well, that's for sure, put pressure, and I mean, we'll see what's going to happen.
The interviewer told Rybakina she had never lost a final against Sabalenka. She corrected him on the spot, said she lost in Australia. She refused a psychological advantage that wasn't accurate. That level of mental clarity, refusing comfortable narratives, is exactly what separates her from everyone else chasing Sabalenka right now. And Eala operates with that same internal compass, even at 20.
To what she said. And that's what, I really have to buy into. And, I want to see myself playing that way.
Speaking of Iga, that was one of your great wins this year. You played brilliant in Doha, making the semifinals over there. What are some of the things you've thought you've done very well this year in 26, and a few things you'd like to continue to get better?
Obviously, I want to improve that consistency. I want to have tournaments like, I never had, maybe the flashy results like win tournaments back to back. But I always, when I was top 10 for 4 years, I had very consistent, semifinals, finals, semifinals. That's what I want to see myself doing again. And then eventually win the tournaments. Obviously starting the season, United Cup with 2 very good wins. Then with Iga and making the semis again after almost 2 years. It was something that I really, really missed. But then I feel like, I know I'm 30 years old, but sometimes I feel like I'm a junior in that mindset that...
30 is young.
Yeah, it is young, but sometimes I don't use my experience that, just to lower the expectations when I have to. But, I still have time. As you said, 30 is young, so we'll see.
Lots of time.
Entire nations follow these two players, Eala and Fonseca. And yet she frames the pressure in a way most athletes never do publicly. I owe it to myself first. Not the fans, not the country. Herself. That's a psychological boundary most 20-year-olds haven't figured out yet. Rybakina operates the same way. Quiet, internal, unbothered by the noise. Maybe that's why this matchup was closer than anyone predicted.
Well, I think it's all together. I think that... I was always playing against top players well. Maybe the statistic is not the same, and I was losing these tough matches a bit more before, but I think with the years, with experience, I'm getting this consistency, so hopefully I can just keep on going. And also you get to know the players much more, so you play against the same player multiple times, so you know what to expect. So I think it's all together.
So what are you going to do between now and the final to recover and prepare to get the best performance on Sunday?
We're still gonna do some work on the court, but definitely I will try to rest and be as fresh as possible. It's a bit tricky also to play late matches. Then you need to wake up for the early match. Even if it's at 11, you're still like waking up many more hours in advance. So it's a bit challenging, but we will see what we can do, and hopefully I can be prepared well.
Rybakina travels with a private stringer, not a tournament stringer, her own. Every racket is adjusted daily based on temperature, humidity, and court speed. It's a marginal gain most fans don't know about and almost no coverage mentions. And it might explain why her ball feels different in Rome than anywhere else. But the biggest reveal came when the interviewer tried to flatter her, and she refused to take the bait.